Oh, kids jumped right out of that. Let's get that one more time here. We did it. How's everybody doing? Mark Miller here. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. Just adjust my volume just a little bit there. Don't want it to be too loud in your ears. Roy's going to be joining us in about an hour. Let's get the Code Rush music going. Got some funk playing for you. Let's talk about what we're going to do today. Let's start up an instance of PowerPoint because I like to do all my specking in PowerPoint. Nice fast way to lay out some ideas. All right, so I've got some assets. Let's bring the assets up so you can see those too. That looks like the right place. All right, so I got a couple assets here. I got one of these. And I got one of these right here. I'm going to open both of these up here also, but I want to take these. Can I copy them here and paste them inside of here? Perfect. I want to be able to wrap the text. I want to be able to scale to a nice fitting aspect ratio. So the bubble fits nicely around the text, whatever it is. Supporting wrapping text. I also want to support formatting text. And Signal R control via Signal R. Automatic screen time calculation or lifespan. Calculation based on average reading speed times about 2.2. So we figure how long it takes to read, maybe 2.5. That's what I'm going to do. So when I was in film school, one of the things I learned is if you're going to put a title on screen, make sure you can read it twice. So that's kind of the amount of time you want to have the title on screen for. So we're going to do kind of the same thing here. I'm going to multiply by 2.5. We'll see how that works. Maybe change that factor down. So we need average reading time. So we're going to count how many words we've got. Figure out its lifetime. So the speech bubble will come up. I have another page called limitations or limits. Limitations. I'm debating whether to put this or how this or not. Only one speech bubble at a time. So then does that mean we're queuing? I think so. So we're going to have a speech, we're going to have a queue. We're going to have a queue for each player. And there are a total of 6 in the game. 5 players across the bottom, including Fred and a Dungeon Master up there. Oh, this is really not a good time to dump pudding on me. Bonk. Pudding says, it's always a good time. What do you mean? A cue for each player. A cue of speech bubbles, things to say is what I'm talking about now. So he asked, what about pumpkins then? Hey kids. We got a new fanfare. I'm not sure when it's coming up. It's for our good friend Ocular Malice. Ocular Malice helped us out on the weekend with some animation for the Kids Code show. And in show of appreciation, I bumped him up to the queue and created an Ocular Malice, a scary Ocular Malice fanfare. So if he shows up, we'll see it. It is not a beholder. I did not have the time or resources to make my own beholder. I wanted something like that.
I love trash.
Scary as lasers. Yeah, no. Grover. I mean, don't Oscar. Okay. Enough of that silliness. Out of the way, kids. Hold on a second. Just running through some pieces of information on my phone. All right. So I think so. If somebody sends a message for me to say something, like the speech bubble comes up, and somebody else says something before this one's gone down, we are going to queue it up. That's what we're going to do. And when the queue is done, we're going to put that out. So it's actually, although it looks very simple, it's going to be pretty sophisticated, I think. It'll be able to wrap text. We'll be able to have formatted text, like essentially like a markdown kind of thing. So somebody can emphasize a word in bold, for example. And it's going to scale the speech bubble itself. Here, let's grab this, copy that. We're going to scale to a nice fitting aspect ratio. So this is relatively scalable without it being obvious that we're scaling it, right? I can kind of get a square aspect ratio like here if I had to. And you get a little bit of evidence that we're scaling it, right? In other words, this is really thick and this is really thin, but it's not too bad. And similarly, if we have something really long to say, like long words or something like that, we could do it and scale it like this. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Hello, child, walking in with a chair. What's wrong? Oh, you're doing fine. Kid comes in with a chair so she can climb up and get the access to a sugar-free chocolate treat with a big smile on her face, knowing that there's no way I'm going to be able to get down and stop her. You son of a gun. You're in big trouble. You're in big trouble. All right, so there's that one. And I have two styles of the speech bubbles here. I have that style and then this style as well. So the thought bubble and the speech bubble are the two pieces. In addition to features, we're going to be able to, another feature, we're going to be able to horizontally flip if needed, if the speaker or thinker is on the right side of the screen. So it'll do that. So all we'll have to do is just send some text and it'll figure out scale, how long it needs to be on screen, and if there's a cue, it'll just wait till the next one goes away and then it'll bring this one up. That's the plan. Might take a little bit of time to do all of that. These are the assets. The way the assets look, they look like this. So if you look over here on the side, you can see as it comes up, it kind of animates up. And then once it's there, I'm going to move this off to the side a little bit here so we can see it. Once it's here, there's a little bit of animation that goes on here. And then it disappears like that. And we need sound effects with this as well. We're going to have to put the, we'll need some sound effects. Entrance, exit, sound effects. That's our spec. Let's copy these. Let's cut those. Let's get a new slide here. Maybe put the word details up here. I'm going to anchor both of these I'm going to put the anchor about right here in both of these. Right there for that one. And then similarly right over here for this one. But when somebody speaks or thinks, we'll anchor that to different places. So, or we'll position it at different places. So there's my anchor right there. And there's my anchor right over here, right there. And so what that allows us to do is scale it up or down, depending on how much text we have, with it being anchored at that position, no worries. And then if it's a thought bubble, it'll be up a little higher, and if it's a speech bubble, it'll be a little lower, so it's pointing at the mouth. Let's create a human being outline right here for a second. Is it this one? Yeah, that's the one I want. There's my shoulders, there's my outline of the guy, there's my speaker. So the positioning of that anchor will be at slightly different places depending on if we're talking or if we're thinking. Okay? Commands. I'm thinking about I don't want to be too I might do this, something like this for the message goes here. I might do something like this for the Code Rush channel. And then in the other world, I think it's going to be like, I think it'll be like that, and it'll be like character name. There's a character we have named lady or little cutie. We say cutie says. I'm thinking something like that. I could get rid of the quotes to make it simpler and faster to type this in. And so we might do something like this, abbreviate MS for Mark Says and MT for Mark Thinks. I don't think we're using those shortcuts yet. And we can do something like this for folks with level 7 or up. And then we might, or for channel points redemption. Something like that. You can put a thought bubble up above my head or some other message. And then for, here, let's do this. So yeah, I want to use this. This is for both the Dragon Humper show and also for here on the Code Roast show. That's kind of what I'm thinking. That goes into chat. That goes into a special chat room. We get the message, and for the Dragon Humpers channel, I just want the players to be able to do this, and maybe designated people on a list. That's what I think I'm going to do. I'll give them a special channel where they can type in those things, and then they'll just pop right up. Okay. All right, so first step, we can do this, the anchor pretty easily. Let's do that. Let's create a class called Speech Bubble Manager. We're gonna put this in the Dragon Front game down here in TypeScript. Speech Bubble Manager. Here's my class. I'm going to have a new instance of that, like that. Fine, I'll create it just like that. We're going to do a similar draw call on it, just like we're doing with the coin manager. I want to do it, I think, on top of everything. The very last call in our draw method. There's the diagnostics. What are we doing here? Calibration position. Yeah, okay, that should be on top of that. Render text animations. I think I'm going to throw it here. That's where it's going to go. Okay. Okay, where else are we using the coin manager? Got to call the load resources. Fine, let's do the same thing there. What else we got? That's it. That's all we need to do there. Dragon Front game has also got a method in it called Speech Bubble. I put the Signal R wiring in before we started the show. And so that's what's going on there. Nothing happening yet, but I think I just want to go right to the Speech Bubble Manager and say, say or think something like that. I want to pass it in there. I also want to I think when we create this new piece here, what's one of these? Get player X. That's kind of what I need right there. So I want to pass in this to the Speech Bubble Manager. And in the Speech Bubble Manager's constructor, I want to have an instance of the get player X. Like that. And I think I'm going to make it, can I make it private like this? I think I can. All right, cool. So that's going to now give us our getPlayerX as a field and initialize that for us. All right, so now we need to load our resources up. We need to have a, I think probably a sprite collection. Is that fair to say? I'm not sure yet. Let's start with our sprites. So we're going to say our speech bubbles, and we're going to have our thought bubbles, like that. And then in here for load resources, we're going to say speech bubbles is equal to, I don't know, let's go get some sample code down below. We need to create a new collection of sprites. We need to give it a path. Path is going to be I'm not sure if this is going to work just straight out of the gate here. Yeah, it looks like it will, because we're setting the assets folder to drag in H. And so, which actually means we don't need to do this. So it's just speech bubbles / speech bubble, I think, or what are we doing? Speech bubble singular. That's the file name. And there are 24 frames of that animation. FPS 30. I think it's going to be loop is the style. And it does not need a name. Let's figure out its origin X and Y though for the speech bubble. That's this guy. I'm going to call that origin right down here, which appears to be 14.242. Okay. We need also to know the return and the segment size. So what animation are we going to return to? It's going to be this one. So the return frame index is 6. So we're going to come into here. We'll start the animation. It goes like this. The animation comes up. We hit frame 6, then we go all the way down through to 23, and then we return back to 6 in a loop. And we keep doing that loop until it's time to bring it down. So that's kind of what's going on there. So we need a return frame index, specify that. Return frame index is equal to 6. And then we should have a segment size and set that equal to 23 minus 6, which is 17. If my brain is working this morning. Okay, there's the speech bubbles. Let's duplicate it. And we're going to change this to thought bubbles. This is still in the same folder, the speech bubble folder. I think the frames are still 24, is that right? Oh, wait, I was wrong on that. It's not 24, because we have this animation that ends. 38 frames of animation. And I'm pretty sure the other one's also 38 frames of animation as well. 39. This one's 38. I'm going to kill this last frame here. I think it's more a mistake than real. Okay, let's go get that thought bubbles. Anchor point right down there, 54, 242. Okay, so that takes care of that part. In the draw is going to look like this. Oh, context, sorry. Draw context. Now MS. Dot, and then speech bubbles draw. So there's my draw method. Next, I need say or think something. And I think the syntax of this, I'm looking for let's see what get player X can give us here. Get player X, player index, this dot get player X dot get player index. It needs an ID. And do I have a get ID from name? I need a player ID, so I need to pass in the player ID. Okay, so the syntax is going to be the player ID followed by a colon and then the message to say or think, like that. So we're going to look for a colon to break this up. So this is this dot split colon. Okay. All right, now we've got a player X. Now we can come in and say, I don't want to split. I want to get the first position of it. All right. All right, now that we have the colon position, we're going to say we get the speech type, whether they're saying says or thinks on it. Passing in first part. Yeah, first part dot to lowercase dot contains, don't ever contains. Index of says, then we're going to say return speech type dot words. Else return speech type dot thoughts. Okay, so there's my speech type. I'm going to say if speech type is equal to speech type dot thoughts, then the sprites we're going to use are the bubbles, thought bubbles. And then otherwise, sprites are going to be equal to the speech bubbles. Okay, so we got the sprites, we got the player X. The player well, we need to get the player ID, and that's going to be, I think it's just the same as plus the first part. My understanding is that putting the plus here in front of a string will find the first number from it. Since we're expecting that, let's maybe give it a trim called to, just in case. We're expecting the first part to be that number, that player ID. So we're going to pass in that player ID to find out what index they're at. Then we're going to pass that index in to get player X, to get that player's X position. Now that we get the X position, hold on. I just took a screenshot here so I can kind of estimate what I need. All right, so this is about roughly what we're talking about here. So if this is my player position down here, let's see, copy this. So can I paste that in? Maybe I've already got it open here. I got it open there. All right, so let me do this. Let me draw a little. Huh, oh, it's black and white image. Interesting. So let me, let's duplicate this for a second. Duplicate. And let's increase the color depth. Now, I said this was at, what are we at? Thought bubble. Thought bubble I said was at 54,242. So I'm going to jump down here to 54,242. Really close. There it is right there. I'm going to drop a little dot right there just to help me line this up. Okay. So now I'm going to copy this to the clipboard, come back over here, figure out where that dot needs to go, and then figure out what its relative position is to the this X position down here at the bottom. So we're basically looking at something from here to here. Right? So that is for the thought bubble. And then let's do the same with the speech bubble. Speech bubble, I said it was going to be at 14,242. $14,242. 242, there's 14,242 right there. Okay. Let's duplicate it. Let's close this without saving it. Let's increase the color depth. All right, there we go. Copy that, paste that, hide the other one. Looking more for this kind of thing here. I think I still want it up a little bit because I don't want it to block any other player's head. So about right there is what we're talking about for this guy. Come in here again. All right, so whatever the dimensions of this thing are, 87 by 192. Dot. The thought bubble offset is here, 98 to 286. Okay. All right. Let's put this up here. Let's let's create an offset X and an offset Y. So now we come down here, we're going to say offset X is equal to speech bubble. Nope, thought bubble. We're here in thought bubble world. Like that. That. All right. I feel like you're just kind of showing off. Surly. Okay, now I got my offsets, I got my sprites. I think I have everything I need to now come in here and say, hey, sprites dot add, not add shifted, just add. We're going to say our X and Y, so our X is going to be our player X. Player X plus offset X. This is going to be our Y, which is going to be screen bottom. That's going to be 1080. Screen bottom minus offset Y. And in fairness, we need to do something here. Minus offset X if we are flipping horizontally, like that. So we're adding a new sprite at that position. Is that all we need to do? Well, we need to show the text at some point, but at this point, that is going to create the sprite. Next, we kind of need to set the lifespan. I'm going to just do this now. I'm going to say expiration date is equal to, let's say 5 seconds. Let's say the fade in time is equal to 400 milliseconds, and the fade out time is about a second, maybe 800 milliseconds. Let's try that. I think at this point, I think there's a chance this code below will work. Now we're not sending any signal down yet, so we should add some code to do that. All right, let's do that. Let's switch over. Do I want to do anything at all? Do I want to do a test just to see it showing up? I think I do. Let's do it with, see, do I have any command handlers inside here? Execute command right there in Dragon Front Game. See it right there behind me, highlighted right there. So I'm going to do something like this. And the speech string we're going to say is, I think my player ID is 4, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm going to say it worked. Well, we're not going to be able to actually see any text yet, but let's hook that up to a command. Does that work? I haven't tried cross 2 as a command. Cross 2. Right, did I get that right? Maybe I need an uppercase. I'm not seeing the crosshairs on there. Not seeing crosshairs. Say it. I'll try that for now. I've got a test command too, though. Maybe I should play with it in that space. Test cross 2. Hey, fried LOL. There it is. That popped it up. Okay. So I don't want it here. And execute command. I want it here. Test command is equal to say it. And we're going to do that there. See if that works. So that means now if I take the drag in front overlay and I refresh it, and then I come in here and I just type in test, say it. Ah, not bad. So I'm clearly not player 4, it appears. May not be my player ID. Appears I'm player 2. Fred is 4. Okay. So we'll change this to 2 and refresh. And we'll do the say it, test, say it command. Oh wait, I need to initialize the data. Now try it. Still way over there. I do like that it's lasting the time we want it to last, except for it's not playing all the way through to the end. Let's see if we can figure that out. It could be that I just didn't refresh. Hold on, let me make sure I've done a real refresh on it. Nope. Let's do this. Let's console log this. Okay, let's open it up. Okay, and let's give the command. Oops, not the one I wanted. That's the one I wanted. All right, what did we get? Two says player ID is not a number. Okay, so we got this part right. My understanding is I guess I can't do it without, I got to get the space out of it is what I think I got to do. All right, so now I'm going to say first part dot index of space, or look for space here. And we're going to say first part dot subster from 0 to our space index, and then trim that. Let's try that. Let's refresh over here, refresh that data there, send the message again. That looks better. Player ID is properly determined to be a 2. Let's refresh. One more time. There we go. That's cool. And then fades out. Now we don't want it to fade out. I want the animation. Like the fading out is okay, but what I want is I want that animation to play as it fades out. So I need it to play through all the way, and I think there's a way to do this. I don't know. Play. Is it down on the sprite itself? Play to end on expire, I think is what I called it. Let's see if it's on the sprite. Play to end on expire. It's a Boolean, is that true? Okay, let's see. See if that works. Refresh. It's a nightmare up there, man. Sterling, you watch yourself, buddy. All right, let's see, change player. Yeah, we got that. I refreshed. Oh, Mark, sorry, you were going somewhere. Did I mess with you? You can try again. All right. Whoops, that's not what I want, not the doc. Say it. Will it play to the end? Please play to the end. It did. Good. I just need to change this fade out time maybe a little bit so we see more of the play in as we start to fade out. Let's try that. Yeah, it's not bad. I could almost take the fade in out, you know, completely, because to be honest, it's just playing all the way out. Maybe I'll just take it all the way out here. Do that. Because the animation, you know, effectively removes it. Let's try it. That was unexpected behavior. By losing the fade out time that happened, let me throw something back in. Interesting. That's really interesting what's happening. It's like I got to nail that. The fade out time has got to nail it for it to work. With this, the play to the end on expire to work. Let's see what that fade out time is. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 frames of animation here. And it looks like 14 there as well. So 14. Times 1000 divided by 30 frames a second is equal to 466. Oops, I wanted this one, 467. Let's try that. Might be the best compromise here to make this work. Wrong. I didn't refresh. Okay, that looks
better. Hello.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm working on speech bubbles today. I'm stepping away from the fire stuff, at least for a little bit.
Okay.
But we can switch over.
Like in a comic book where you'd see a little projection of a character's thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. Like, take a look. Here's what we have so far.
Hey, that's pretty good.
And
nice and organic too.
It's not bad. Yeah, a little speech bubble. So we got that. I've got a thought bubble as well. We could. I'll give you. Let's do this. Let's create a say it 1 and a say it 2. Like that. Okay, and 2 is going to be 2 thinks. Like that. It worked. So 2 is, the number at the beginning is just the player ID. And my ID for this player is 2. And I'm in the number 4 position, so we just figure out it's on player 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 across, I think. And then or 3 or whatever I am, and then that converts to an X, and then it puts it up. So what's interesting here about this is the think position, if we say it 2, is the thought bubble going to be appearing in the right spot? That's the other thing we haven't tested yet. So let me do a refresh. And we're going to say it 1. There's that. So see, it's a little lower. And then we're going to say it 2. And say it 2.
I think it was there, but it's behind the first one. Has the first one gone away again?
Yeah, but it looked like it was the wrong shape. That's not right. Get speech type should determine. Maybe I got a bug in here. Nope, I'm grabbing the thought bubbles. Thought bubbles are getting a different set. Speech type is thought. Oh wait, maybe I have a problem. No, I was going to say maybe I have a problem here. No, it says it's going to redo this. Thanks. So the first part is not going to have says inside of it, so it's going to return thinks and get speech type. Then down here, we're going to check to see if it is, and if it is, we're going to say it's equal to thought bubbles. Sprites is equal to that. Yeah. All of that should work. Let me try another refresh. I don't understand why it's not working. I'm going to kind of, let's hit the brick wall again really hard and see if this time it works. Say it 2. Nope. Say it 1. After this goes down.
Okay, your code looks fine. What is Unless that, okay, what is the offsets, the physical positioning on screen?
Oh, do we think
Well,
that
you know, because even
the
say
offsets are
is
different? Let's
well,
see.
no,
Let's see if they show up in
for
the
a
same
second,
spot. I
but
think
I
they're.
think say it too is still going the same place. It's still coming on screen, as it were.
Yeah. Let's do this.
Have you bound? No, that wouldn't be it. Okay, we're definitely getting two values hit the chat room. Are we definitely getting two values sending different things? Sorry, responding to different things.
I'm going to open it up. I'm going to see what we can get here. Here we go. Say it 1. That should be speech type is 1. Player ID is 2. The next one should be speech type is 2. Let's see. Send it out. Speech type is still 1, even though it says
but
thanks.
Definitely has correct text.
Yep. So it's get speech type is problematic. Passing in first part for both is 2, it says and thinks.
Somehow detecting the word says in text that definitely doesn't contain it.
I'm doing first part dot 2 lowercase dot index of says is greater than 0. Sorry, is greater than or
right.
equal to 0. My bad. Okay, that'll do it. Let's go back to the stream and refresh the stream.
Still, 0 is apparently truthy. Or -1 is truthy. Either way, that's weird.
-1 I think is truthy. 0 may not be. Makes sense? I think that's what we're dealing with.
I've always had a little bit of a love-hate relationship with the falsy, truthy nature of JavaScript. There we go, though. Proof's in the pudding. It's working.
Yeah, what's up with that, though?
A little bit of a fluctuation going on.
Yeah, I think that my return frame index, there's something wrong with the return frame index in that animation. Let's take a look at this. I'm returning here. Oh, yeah. Interesting. So I want to return to 7, not to 6. That's
right.
What it looks like to me. Let's change that to 7. Change that to 7.
Moving back to part of the growth rather than the continuation.
Yeah, I'm going to say my segment size, I'm dropping that down to 16 now. Because that's also the part of the loop that we're looping in there. Let's refresh that. Let me get this dialog. A place where I can go hit that refresh button a little easier.
Still a little bit jerky. Is that a lack of refresh properly, or is there still another stage of growth?
No. 7. Oh, wait. 7 is 6. Hold on.
Okay.
It should be 8. Should be our return frame index. Sorry. And this goes down to 15. Try that now. Refresh. Come on, what's going on now? Return frame index is 8.
It's not growing in size though. It's the same consistent size. You look at the top and bottom of the bubble. It doesn't shift left. Well, it does shift left and right, but it's got the same height in both cases. So it's almost like there is a left-right shift.
8 is here, not there. It's like it's going to that one. It's also kind of weird what's happening here. I wonder if I'm doing the same thing over here. I'm not doing the same thing here. I almost think that that I've got a problem with the code that was generated. I mean the assets that were generated. I almost think.
Okay.
Because it's like this one's pretty smooth, and the other one has definitely got a jump in here that makes me want to be like, what's going on with you, Mr. Animation? I'm just opening it up right now to take a look at it. I've got it partially on this. Yep, look at that. Boom. Okay. Why is that? I'm just looking at the two. Yeah, it looks like it's totally shifted. I'm just looking at numbers here on the other screen. I'm going to copy some attributes and paste them in. See if that looks better. Nope, that doesn't look better. All right, let's just manually get it right then. So here's the one before, here's the next one. Oh, I see what's happening.
There's a stretch going on in there as well.
It's my scale needs to go to 30 over here. Okay, so now let's look at it as we come in here. So we're coming up there, and now we've just got the positioning changed. Let's fix that. Oops. All right, let's take a look at that. Now that's better. And then what about the very end coming up right there? Okay, something goes on there. Same problem. The scale needs to be switching to 30. Let's try now. Better, 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 better. Okay, so let's generate this. Speech bubble. Nope. Thought bubble. Thought bubble. Export. This is going to generate it out at 1920 by 1080. So we're going to bring up our cropping tool, run that on it. It's our animation cropper. Thought bubble. Go. I'll run PNG Gauntlet on it later because it tends to just suck up everything if I run it on it now. Save that, close it down. Shoot, we just got that problem now of loading up the
Genescu 7, where are you? We need your help.
Comes Genescu 7. Hey little guy, how you doing? You here you got a mission to please? No, you clearly don't. Get him, Genescu 7. Get him. Get him, Yoda. Oh, that was a close one, kids.
Kind of love the persistence of these alien guys.
They are persistent. How you doing, Genescu 7? Look at Genescu 7's got the speech bubble going on there right there.
Ooh.
Okay.
Someone's themed correctly.
What'd you say?
Someone's themed correctly for the day.
Yeah, someone's themed correctly for the day. Now, the problem is today, unless I restart everything or give a different folder, the speech bubbles will still have the incorrect. The speech bubbles are going to look a little wonky today. The thought bubbles are going to look good, so we're okay. We're going to be okay with that. We're going to use those, the thought bubbles there. So those will look good, and that's what we're going to do. Okay, next. So here's what we've done. Let's go look at our spec and see what kinds of things. We've done the anchor. Let's give us ourselves a little good old-fashioned checkbox to show that we are...
I have a question. Is there a character on the screen to what is, I guess, your right?
Over here?
Yeah.
Yes, there is.
And so, does the speech bubble have enough room to be on screen to their right, if they should say something? Ah, there we go. See, Matt's thought of this. Well done.
There it is right there. That's what we're looking at. Yeah, we're going to do that.
There you go. Proof positive, Mark Miller is a genius.
No. No, I'm not going to say that. Not to take away what you said. That, you know, anything you said was may or may not have been genius. Hold on just a second. Okay, I'm going to group these two together. Where's my group button? There it is right there. Let's give it a nice traditional kind of green color. Guess who doesn't like that green color? It's me. I like that one better. All right, so now I'm going to put this green check on anything I've done. So there is, anchor is done. We did the anchoring.
You know what I love about that? It's done it again with PowerPoint of all things, right? Put together a shape for a tick mark. Me, if I'm trying to make a tick mark, it would never occur to me in a million years to put two lines together and then rotate through, 45 degrees? I'd be actually trying to draw diagonal lines in the first place.
Gotcha.
I would spend ages getting that wrong.
Don't do that. Yeah, these are actually, I'm using rounded rect for these, for both these. So they're real easy to line up like that. So yeah, there's my check. The only thing I don't like is that it's not quite lined up this way, but you can fix that by doing something like this, where I select this first, then that, then I join them together, then I drag this like that, select them again, and now say break into all your little pieces. Now with them broken, right, I've got this oriented the right way, and then now the only thing I need to do is come over here.
Right, so the bounding box for the object is now back on the normal plane.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So it's just a little extra step to do that. There's other tricks that you can do to kind of do it, maybe in fewer steps. That's now what we've got. So positioning, what I mean by positioning, well, actually we're not quite right on that. Let's double check that. We haven't quite earned this yet. Hold on. Let's replace this one with the good one, and let's earn this one right now. So I'm going to go in, and so we're going to.
The good one was put there, Mark. I think it's still the weird one.
Okay, I'll check it. All right. So there's that. See, it's pointed down by my mouth, and say it to the bubble should be up by my head. It is. Okay, we're good. That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
The jittering, we're going to fix that. That'll be fixed by tomorrow after we do a refresh of those images. So positioning, we've got that too. So positioning is good. We don't have commands done yet. We don't have queuing. Limitations. Now I'm going to just change this to the queue. The speech thought queue. Oh my gosh, can I type today? Speech thought queue. So only one speech bubble presented at a time. So we need a queue for each player. Yeah. And the queue is going to, when an existing speech bubble disappears, the queue will unload. It'll throw another speech bubble up right there.
Mm-hmm.
Or that player will unload. That's going to be a little tricky, I think, to get that. Here's this overall spec, Rory. So I'll tell you what we're going to do here. So we need to wrap text. I guess I should add present text.
Place text on screen.
Yeah, should be one of the features. Place text on screen. We're not doing that yet. Okay.
This is true.
So maybe that's
no check mark for that just yet.
What'd you say?
No check mark for that just yet.
Yeah, I think we should do that next.
Yeah, so I'm just looking through the list then. You've got obviously a very fixed graphic, so you're going to have to scale the text down. That's your scale to nice fitting aspect ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to scale the graphic.
Oh, okay.
And or the text. So this is where things get a little, heuristically, leaning. So we're going to scale the graphic and or the text.
Okay.
So that implies text has a min setting,
Point size.
min font size.
Like that.
What'd you say?
Well, because you're going to try to shrink the text until you hit the minimum.
Right.
At which point you have to calculate the size of bubble that's necessary
Right.
to contain that.
Right. Also, it suggests, I don't know if I'm going to write this or not, it suggests, though, that, I'm not sure what I want to call it, but in word processing, there's a term called orphans. Orphans, which are basically, if I have a paragraph broken across 2 pages, if I have just one line on one of those 2 pages,
The keep together facility.
keep together, right? Well, when we're word wrapping, we have similar kinds of possibilities where I can maybe end a paragraph with a one word right down here. And especially if I've got one line with a really long line and one down here, what really makes more sense is to wrap it, is to change the aspect ratio of what we're going to put it in, right? So I get a more even wrapping. So that creative shifts to the aspect ratio can produce better looking text. Now, if you're new to the show, you might be thinking, wow, this guy's like really kind of specking this out for like, what is it? Speech bubbles? But that's kind of what happens on this show, I think. We are always looking at like, what is the best, most beautiful way. We're really trying we're striving towards beauty. That's what we're trying to do. We're striving towards presenting something that's beautiful.
Quality, isn't that? Quality of experience, if you like.
Yeah.
And that involves thinking, at least, about many different angles. Here we're looking, obviously, at the formatting, at the mechanics of wrapping text. How much text? How big should the text be? How big would the bubble be? And it doesn't take a lot of effort to think around these things. We can decide to throw some of them out as not good enough, or don't contribute enough to the quality if we believe that's the case later. But the cost of thinking about them is quite low. It's not like we're actively writing this immediately, although we will move to that.
Yeah.
Look at that. We've got a raid coming in. Party of 99 C# Fritz.
How's it going,
99.
kids? How is everybody doing?
Welcome, everybody.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing? How was your stream? I saw you weren't feeling so well today. I hope you're feeling better. Here comes Smokey. Look out! Watch your step, Fred. You okay, buddy? Mr. Smoopy's in the house.
Welcome, Mr. Smoothie. Welcome all our raiders. Welcome C# Fritz. Basically, welcome everybody.
Nick, the first one, is in there. Hey, Nick, the first one. Robert Tables is there saying, hi, Dad. Do I look like your dad? Maybe. I don't know. It could be true. Could be. I always get nervous when people say, come up to me with we found your children. Takabu Baker's out here. Welcome. Charles Gilligly. M. Polowski, welcome. Das Stitches, Stelzy79, Net Jammer, Tail Learn Code. Hey, Tail Learn Code. And Johan B. Welcome, everybody. Glad you're with us. Yeah, good. I hope you had fun there. Jeff, I hope you're feeling better. We're working on speech bubbles. Speech bubbles that are going to be remotely controlled from the chat room. So you'll be able to type something in and a speech bubble will appear right here pointing to me. That's what we're doing. We're going through the spec. We've got the spec up here in PowerPoint. I've got the anchor position for the two different types of bubbles. I've got a thought bubble and a speech bubble here. And we've just done the positioning. So we've gone through a couple tests there. Fred looks like he's having a bad skin day. Fred. You should see Fred when he rolls Wild Surge Rage. I wonder if I can do that right now. Can he do it? There he is. Now he looks like I was in a really bad skin day. There. You okay, Fred? No? Doesn't look like you're okay. All right. So Fred's not having such a good day. Good thing, though, the rage only lasts about a minute. Fred's one of the players on our Dungeons and Dragons show. I'll give you a link to it out there in the chat room. If you like Dungeons and Dragons, go give us a follow out there on that channel. Fred plays, I play. We've got loads of special effects, dice, all kinds of things there. If you're familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, the game looks like a little bit like this. You want to give a fair warning, right? Oh, look at that!
show warning to those who maybe you've never seen it before. It is a slightly more adult show. It's not safe for work, but by all means, stop by.
1 to test.
Hey. I'm sorry, you were warning us, Roy? There's something bad about that show? Something
There's
scary?
nothing bad about that show. It's just perhaps that there are elements of it which are less, shall we say, family friendly than this show.
Yes, that's fair to say.
That's all.
Maybe not, probably not for little kids. It's for older folks. So we've got this, and we want to use speech bubbles on that show as well. So, and in that show though, we're going to make it so only the players can say what other players are going to say, but we can prank each other and do things like that. So I think that'll be really fun. It's an improv comedy show with Dungeons and Dragons mix. That's what's going on with the other show. So, but with this one, for use here, we're going to make it so you can type something in the chat room and it'll come up and position it there. That's what we're trying to do.
Wow.
So,
do we trust the chat room with that?
You know what, Rory? Because I think I've got some sort of, I don't think you can say bad words in the chat anyway. So I think in general, I'm sure people are going to be obnoxious or whatever, and do things that are funny, and so I'm gonna. I think we'll be fine.
I'd be curious to see. I don't know if there's any safe test words we can use, but if people say, should we say, a potentially bad word in the chat room, does it get blanked in the chat room and then make it through the API, and we put it on screen?
Oh, I don't know. We'll figure this out. Well, these are questions we can answer at a later time. So here's what I want. I want to be able to place. Well, I need to be able to place text on screen because right now the only thing that's happening is you're just seeing that.
Yes.
Okay. I want to wrap the text. I want to format the text, including some kind of markdown, so that I can put asterisk to bold it. We're going to control it via Signal R. I'm going to scale the graphic. I kind of remove this because we're essentially got that done. I want to scale the graphic and or the text to a nice fitting aspect ratio. So what that means is I'm not just going to scale it up and down in both dimensions. I might scale only width, or I might scale only height, depending on what I need to hit that aspect ratio for the formatted wrapped text.
Indeed.
We do have automatic screen time lifespan calculation. Well, we're almost there. But this is going to be easy to do. We're just going to count the words, figure out the average reading speed, multiply by 2.5, and that's going to be the time on screen. So that's all going to be sweet. It's just going to come up and automatically go away. We'll horizontally flip if the position is too close to the right side of the screen.
Yes. So we'll move over that side. We're going to flip it.
Why don't we do the flipping?
Sorry?
I said, why don't we do the flipping, Rory? I'm thinking it's kind of easy to do real quickly here.
Well, we have just been playing in the putting the bubble on screen space, so that does kind of make sense. This does fall under that purview.
Yeah, so I think what I want to do, this is the X position right here.
Now, one presumes that by the time we get here, we will have definitely calculated the appropriate size of bubble in both dimensions. Because otherwise we can't take X, add the width, and determine that we're off screen without actually having a width.
Yeah, the scale. We need the scale. I was just going to say, hey, look, if it's over like 1400, just flip it.
That works too. See, Mark there with the simple solution. This is good.
X position is greater than 1400. Maybe make this a constant. Max right position is equal to 1400. So if X is greater than 1400, then we're going to say X position is equal to player X minus offset X. We're down here in TypeScript right now, and if that's the case, then we also want to say flipped is true, which means I need a Boolean up here that says flipped. Set that equal to false. And then down here, I want to set it equal to true. Like that. Then So that's going to calculate that. Now if we have our, if flipped, then it's going to be sprite. And I think, do I have a flip horizontally on here? There we go. Sweet. Well, I can just do this too. I can just set that equal to flipped. All right, let's test that. But I want to change. Get a couple of these. These can be inferred here, right here. SVG, not SVG, Stelzy. It is a bitmap. But, you know, I'm totally open to SVG. Dramatic history check. What go to party? Make me an Arcana check. Enters rave mode. Yeah, you want an Arcana check? Arcana. Okay, there's my flipped right there. The only thing I need is I need a player that is off on the right. I need a player that's off on the right. That's going to be Little Cutie right there. And Little Cutie's got a player ID of 3. So what I want to send to see or think something, it's going to be number 3. So we're going to do that. Let's refresh. By the way, last week we were working on fireballs, throwing virtual fireballs from my hand. We're going to probably get back to that after we wrap up the speech bubbles. So I think we'll do speech bubbles this week, and then next week I think we're going to get back into virtual fireballs, casting spells, all this stuff. It's using the Leap motion device, which gives you 3D skeletal data. And so we had like fireballs in my hand, and we could throw them and catch them. And
actual augmented stream reality with
right.
Fireballs in play that are manipulable through our own physics engine. Essentially, you hurl them into the air, catch them in the other
right.
hand. We are not exaggerating, people. This is what's working.
Yeah. So we're gonna continue work on that next week. Take it to the next level. I got the lights I told you about. So I'm going to make it so when I hold the higher fireball close to my face will light up in the color of the fireball, whatever that color is. And if I move it to the other side of my face will light up. Yeah, that's kind of what we do. We kind of have come up with this idea of, hey, what would be crazy? And then we try to do that. That's what we try to do.
That's right. We take an idea, we implement it, and then we say, well, just how far can we take this idea? How far can we push it? Yeah.
So let's try say it 2. Which is going to be, let's say says, because our thinks has got a little bit of a glitch in the thinks that will, there we go. No, wait, that came in. Jetsom's flying in. Hey, Jetsom.
Hey, Jetsom.
Jetsom is in the house, flying in low. A little low, Jetsom. Overkill, perhaps? Yeah, I need an Overkill Productions. Cody Girl is here. You know who's not here? Ocular Malice. This code is golden, kids. Coding Gorilla. If you're watching this and you're going, what's going on with Miller's show here? I'm Mark Miller, by the way.
This is normal.
This is all normal.
Totally normal for this show.
We've got fanfares for VIPs, for folks who hang out a lot and help out a lot. And so all of these people that are coming in with these announcements are folks that are regular contributors. We got a new fanfare, by the way, that I haven't debuted yet. Should we do it without that person here, or should we wait? I'm not sure what our...
Are we trying to guess the person, or can we get a clue?
Oh no, I hit the button. Ocular Malice. Not in the house, kids, but that's the new one. You can tell Ocular Malice you saw it. Yeah, pretty cool. Vicious says, I'm here. Jetsom says, fun. Yeah, that's Ocular Malice. Ocular Malice was helping us out over the weekend. I've got a coding show. If you got kids, I've got a coding show that I do on Fridays and Saturdays with my son. He's 10 years old. We're working in Unity and C#. It's right here on Code Rush. You can kick it. You can bring it up and watch it with your family, watch it with your kids. And we are writing games in Unity and C#. So and it's totally beginner friendly. So if you have questions, you can ask. And like I say, we're just learning that. We're learning at writing game. Our game actually looks really cool so far, like kind of mind-blowingly cool almost, with only a few shows. I think we've done maybe like 10 shows maybe. And it's like you're going through a wormhole, and you've got items getting sucked up into a black hole. So we've got some physics that we've built into it. Actually, we're using just the Unity physics engine, but we're just applying forces, things like that. It's pretty cool. So just take a look at that if you got kids or you like to watch that. All right, so I'm trying to get to here. The say it to 2 says it worked. I'm expecting to see the flip. Let me do a refresh one more time here of the front right there. And one more time to see if I can get a say it to coming in here. I don't get it. I do not get it. Well, wait, say it 1 flipped? That's the weirdest thing. Why did say it 1 flip? It went to 3.
Say it 1 has got the third.
Did I mix these up?
4th edition.
I mixed them up. It's my fault. 3 is the right one to check. Okay, good. So there's the flip. So the flip occurs and it's coming out over here. That's what's happening. So that is all working. I just had these reversed in my mind. Okay, so we have the flip. All right, now I'm going to come in here, grab this thing, and just put some checks by some of the small things that we've done here. Done. Okay. Automatic screen time. Let's get the text on the screen. Let's figure that out first.
Okay.
Okay. So if we come in here with say or think something, at some point we get to, we're parsing this string. We're saying the syntax is going to be the player ID, the word say or thinks, and then the message to say or think. The second part is what we're going to say. That's going to be our speech stir, and it's going to be just first colon position. Like that. That's our second part. And actually, I think it's probably this plus 1. Is that right? If the colon position is at 0, 1, then 2 is what I want to get from that point forward. Yeah, I think it's that plus 1. So there's my second part. I'm going to trim it like that. That's now my, the text to show is here.
That sounds good.
Now the question is, when do we show it? I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to have an event on this thing. Do you have anything that starts with on cycle callbacks? On frame advanced callbacks? What's going on here? Add on frame advanced callback. That's what I want. We're going to say sprite advance frame, like that. Can I declare this? Is somebody going to be smart enough to give this to me? They're not. They're just going to give me that. Okay. Let's go see what that signature is. That looks like the signature. Got some dogs in the house. By the way, kids, I'm living in Costa Rica. So I got some dogs in the house. All right, this is going to be this dot sprite advance frame. So this is a callback whenever the frame is advanced to the sprite.
Okay.
So we'll be able to come in and see when it's advanced to the point. Now, well, this is a way to do it. Another way to do it is simply to set a timer and pop this up at the right time. Hurricane, Coding Girl is asking, how's the weather down there? Saw a hurricane nearby on the radar. My understanding is the hurricane is up northeast of us. So we're good, Coding Gorilla. We get some rain. That's about it. Nick, the first one says, I love the Kid Coding Show. Oh, thanks for that, Nick, the first one. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you guys like that. Yeah, it's a good show. It's not bad. You know, that's what I try to do here, kids. Something good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The next name Hurricane will be, what is that icon right there? Global? Kappa Twitch Global? Kappa. All right.
Reading, Lotta has officially been upgraded to Category 5 Hurricane. Is that today?
Oh,
that's yesterday.
It's the next name in the list. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, so here's my sprite. This is some other data that's coming in. I don't care about really anything. The only thing I'm thinking about is the sprite itself is going to have a link to the data, is what I'm thinking. And when we get to a certain frame, the sprite owns its frame index. So the sprite's got a frame index in it. And in case you're wondering, like, wait, what framework are you using? It's a framework we built on the show. So that's what's going on there. All right. I want to go, before I do any more code here, I want to go research the last place we were drawing text. We've got a couple places. One of them is Spellbook. And we're drawing it in a, the Spellbook is, here, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. It's right there. So this is our Spellbook. The Spellbook supports
some Markdown in there as well.
Yeah, it supports Markdown. You can see there's bolded stuff. We also created that in our interactive UI, which is actually pretty cool. I don't know if I have the test commands for that still. I don't think I do. Yeah, I'm going to say it looks like I don't have those. We used to have some test commands to bring up the UI. But actually, you know what? I think I can bring it up pretty quickly. Let's cast 2 spells that both require concentration. So there's when we cast enlarge reduce. And now we're going to cast spider climb. And then the UI will come up. Whoops, spider climb. And cast that spell. There's the UI. This UI wraps text and also supports Markdown right here. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, we'll go ahead and break it. So I want to look at how we're doing that text right there, because that text, that piece you just saw, that UI is very similar to what we're doing. It brings up a background animation. There's actually a foreground animation as well. The corners are kind of overlapping.
And you already got a delay in the unfolding of that, and there's a specific point at which the text is then put on top of it.
Right. That's what I want to look at that code to see how we did that. What is that called? That's called is it a dialogue?
It's a choice of some kind?
It's in message box.
Message box.
Okay. Interesting. I'm throwing it in with putting it as a text effect. Add answer.
So this routine here is add text. So presumably wherever this is called from is in response to the correct sort of unfurling.
So add answer is not really what I'm looking for. The question is the more interesting piece because the answers, I think, are not using the markdown. The question is drawn in a different way, as I understand it. Question, answer map, question. Here we go. Calculate title font. Calculate size. Let's see where else we're using those. Here's the word wrapper. Well, that's one of the things we're going to need. We need a word wrapper and a word renderer. Let's go copy both of those and just bring them on over right now for a speech bubble. Manager. All right. Let's see what we're doing with these. Okay. We create a new word wrapper, we create a new word renderer, and we set a whole bunch of options for the word renderer. Look at that, we didn't even be able to support bullets. Kind of interesting. Okay, so let's, I guess I'll throw it here for now. And in the constructor. Now, let's change some of these up here. And emphasis color. Fine. I'll use that. Emphasis font, height increase. I'm going to go ahead and bring all of these over here. Bullet indent, bullet color. I'm going to change that in a second. Now let's go get this. What is wrong? Oh, it's an element constructor. Sorry. Okay, better, I think. Let's go find the font name. Detail font name. Do I want to have the kind of Dungeons and Dragons style font like right here that you see in the word spider climb?
Interesting.
Or I was thinking more like a Comic Sans kind of font name is what I was thinking
to
of.
kind of fit the logical things that will be said, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was looking at. Maybe we'll start with this for now. Let's get a font size. Word renderer font size. Do I really care about setting that now? Because I'm going to adjust that. But I think we end up doing that. We end up doing that in the message box. It looks, that's the initialization. Yeah, we change it. We change it in message box. And we also change the font name. So yeah, those are all changeable kinds of things there. I'll make the font name be the font size be, let's say 20 for now. Emphasis, font style, height increase. Let's go find that. Bullet color, emphasis color, table line color, text color.
Couple down underneath as well, bullet indent and underline offset, I think. Maybe not the offset, but the bullet indent, maybe.
See if I need those. Font height increase. I'm going to say 0 for the font height increase if we get to here. We already got these. These we already got. Okay. Emphasis font style ascender.
Wow, what does that mean?
Well, I'll tell you, Rory. This is the height from the baseline to the top of the tallest character. It's from here to here.
Well, there you go.
So,
as amazingly demonstrated by that in-code image that we have there.
Yeah, the picture and the comment will explain what that thing is right there. Let's just get rid of the comment delimiters here. So it looks a little better. All right, so there we go. Let's go throw this over here. Emphasis, font, style, ascender. Placing on top of the tallest character. We don't really need this at all because I'm not going to be doing any special emphasis font change. How'd you get a graphic in code? He asked leadingly, Jetsam. Well, the first step is I, figured out let's see, 3D Pythagorean theorem, something like that.
First step was install CodeRush.
First step was figuring out, what image I wanted to put in the code. That's the first step. Like, I don't know, what's a good image to use? Maybe this one. Then I copy the image. Come over here and get a higher res version. So I copy the image like that. Although this looks like it might have transparency behind it. And then I put a comment in and I paste. Yeah, it has some transparency in the back of it.
Did not know we had transparency in that.
Yeah, we have transparency support, which depends on where we are. If I do that one, there you go. So and then you just paste it in the code like that. That's all you do. Thanks for that leading question. That's part of CodeRush right there. It's got full undo, redo, resizing, crop, all of that stuff. So we can come in here and say, well, I want this part over here, for example, like that of the image. You can take a screenshot of your app while you're running it. Maybe there's something interesting in it you want to work on the code. Take copy it, paste it in. Works with version control. Anybody who's got CodeRush can see it. Anybody who doesn't have CodeRush will just see that right there, that little bit of text. Okay, that's how it is. It's pretty cool.
It is good.
We did a good job implementing this guy, and it works in a lot of file types. So it works in HTML, XAML, C#, TypeScript, all over the place. This only makes sense if we are if we're using a fixed font size for the body and if our emphasis font size increase is greater than 0. But because that's not the case, none of those are the case, we're going to not worry about those. I'm now thinking we're okay. All right, bullet indent. Let's go find that. That's 8. Picaravind is now following. Thanks for that. Bullet indent is 8. Like that. There's my bullet indent. And then my bullet color. Do I have that? Yeah, I have it up above. Okay, so now we've initialized the word renderer. So there's a lot of stuff for it to kind of give it some defaults. I just want to give those. Any reason why you're using static properties instead of a singleton class? Yeah, Vicious, I did not consider creating a singleton class just to hold these values that I'm locally only going to use inside of my speech bubble manager. That's kind of what's going on. And I'm going to be changing these soon, I think. We took these defaults from another part of the code, but I'm going to change the defaults for here. So I don't know, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I guess your suggestion is we take, these pieces and put these in another class is what I think you're suggesting. There really is no such thing as a singleton class in TypeScript JS as Coding Gorilla. Okay. All right, so we've got our word renderer. Let's continue our exploration and search of the message box. See where we're using the word wrapper and the word renderer. Let's see, word renderer, let's look at that first. We set the font name and the font size when we figure out what those are going to be. We're passing this to the word wrapper to get the word wrap lines for paragraphs. Cool. More changes here to font size. What is this? Active style is equal to normal. Interesting. So
normally, I see normal alongside the weight property of a font. So like whether it's bold or something similar. Is that what this means?
Yes. Yeah, but what's interesting is I'm setting it here, but I think I'm setting it because I want to make sure that we're resetting the active style to normal before we start rendering it, in case any previous calls were bold, that sort of thing. Yeah, Coding Gorilla says, Coding Gorilla and Vicious are talking about the options pattern, C#
Singletons,
and
an optional
singletons.
pattern. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Coding Gorilla. I appreciate that. You know what we say about Coding Gorilla?
He's awesome.
That's what we say about Coding Gorilla. Do we just lose our Code Rush? I feel like we've just totally. Where is?
Our coins are gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm just looking at. There it is. Background drone game. Yeah, it's turned off. Weird. Okay, turned off. We've just refreshed it there. Now you're flying, Rory. Good job. Okay, so word renderer. We are rendering the paragraphs at some key time. And we're passing in the line data to render paragraphs, which is inside title paragraph, which is paragraph wrap data. Okay, so here's my idea on this. Yeah, I think what I want to do is I want to create a class that has let's get some Coder's music playing here. I want to create a class that is going to contain some property of this type. What do we want to call this class? This is going to be our speech data, is what I think I'm going to call it. And we're going to come in and we're going to say we're going to give it our, we're going to call it the paragraph, maybe. There's our paragraph. Let's go back over here. Title paragraph. Top scroll, title paragraph. Get word wrap lines for paragraph. There we go. Max title width, max message box style delimiters, and a word renderer. All right, so we kind of are going to need something along these lines here. So I think we're going to do this. We're going to say, this is going to look like this. The speech data is going to have this. The word wrapper is, I think, going to be passed to it. Like that. We need a context. Context. We need a string. And so that's going to be this parameter right here. That's going to be the text we want to wrap. The max width. The max width.
That's an interesting one because we've said that might change.
Yeah, no, it has. Yes, we have. I want to say the max width. I want to just open one of these. Let's say the most we'll go is double this width. Is that true? Yeah, we don't want a lot of, we don't want this getting too big. Yeah, I'm going to say double this is what I'm going to say. All right, let's just do that to start with. We're going to go from here to here. That's where the text will fit. So the width there is about 110. No, 212, sorry. 212. So I'm going to say 420, 4 is going to be my max width. And now we'll just go in and say it. Style delimiters. We got to go look at that. I think I'm just going to use the message box style delimiters, which means we'll only have, well, maybe I don't want to do this. Spellbook style delimiters. Yeah, I like this better. Not quite where I wanted to put that. Create that right there. Let's see if we can declare this. And I'm going to get rid of that. So now we're going to just support bold and italic. So double. 2 will be bold. Do I really want to do that though? Because it's so much easier to type in 1 if you want to emphasize. Then why would I make somebody do 2?
It's almost like they'd be inverted.
Yeah.
And that's the problem then, of course, is that can you do bold italics at that point?
Yeah, no, it's just going to do one or the other. I think I'm only going to support bold.
In terms of precedence, bold is the most obvious, the more common.
Yeah,
I guess. So
I'm going to do that.
Shorter.
I don't think I'm going to support italics, I think. Or if I did, I'd maybe give them a different set of delimiters. Like maybe like that. I don't know. I don't know. I want to comment this out for now. All right, so there's our delimiters, and then we need to get the word renderer. Pass that in, and I think I'm going to pass in the word renderer separately as well. So we'll pass in the word wrapper, the word renderer. Good. Okay, now we've got a speech data piece. It's going to have its paragraph wrap data. It will construct it. It'll give it the data, the details we need. That'll give us the shape of it.
Yep.
And I'm going to add a to-do right here. Reshape the wrapping to make the text more beautiful. I'm going to add this here. We'll maybe work on this later. So the idea is that if this were a wrapped line like this, that might not be as beautiful as wrapping it. Let me get rid of the to-do. So if this was my text, that might not be as beautiful as if it was like this. In other words, it was more evenly positioned inside, right? It used the space better. That's kind of what I'm thinking there. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, speech data. We need to create an instance of this, and we need to stick it on the sprite is what we need to do. So let's do that. Shoot, we need a context.
Was just wondering about that.
How do we get one over here in message box? So we kind of need a context before we draw it. I feel like there's one sitting around. Hold on a second. No, not there.
Well, it's being passed into the show, so is that presumably from outside the message box?
Yes, it is. These are all coming in from outside, but I think there's a place somewhere where I just grab it from. All right, let's try this. Context. The game has got a context associated with it.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll work.
Wouldn't we pass that in from the say command though? So a bit.
No.
When you want to show your message box, you grab the context image to show it. So when you're saying things, again, down from within TypeScript, you're going to have a context there, aren't you?
No, because that comes in through a command. It's not part of update.
That's true. And the say is not technically causing, is adding to the queue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of things that are going to be said.
But I think over in this space we have a context that we can get from game. No? All right, let's try one other thing. Where is it? I really feel like I've got this memory, Rory, of somewhere we set up the a context and assigned it to each of these, to the Dragon Front game.
Well, are we not using a context to put the speech bubble up in the first place?
Yeah, no, we're not.
Okay.
Oh wait, hold on. No, I misread it. Yeah, speech bubbles here. Let's look here. Can I find a context here? Is there one here? Nope, there's not one here. I feel like it's over in main or something like that. Let me just look in here. Main's got a my context.
Just passed into the
Front main
itself.
got a my context. That's what I'm looking for. Because I just want to use any context at all, just so I can then make the calls. Because it's just going to be a normal context. It's not going to be flipped or rotated or anything like that.
So you kind of just want to reach outside the purview of the function and just go, well, I know this global thing exists. Let me have one.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Okay, what's my problem now? And we need some text. So text to show. That should calm down that. All right, now we've got our speech data, and now...
Okay, so your say or think something is in Dragon Front game directly.
Yes.
So it should be able to go, this dot context, because I'm assuming that the Dragon Front game is grabbing that context and storing it somewhere.
I tried it. There's nothing there. No suggestions.
What's the call to Dragon Front game that gets made from the file you were just in? Because it did pass a context in.
The file I was in this one.
Yeah, so that gets passed into new Dragon
Oh,
Front,
I didn't see that.
Dragon Front game.
What is that?
And that's the super context, which is fine. And again, down one more level. Somewhere, at a very high level, game, apparently. It's up again.
Yeah, well, I saw it. New
World.
world. It's
so
new world.
This .world.context.
That's it. Thank you,
Ideally,
Rory.
maybe.
You saved us. You saved us, man. That was awesome. Awesome coding. Awesome.
That's still assuming that we have access to the context from the world, but yeah, that's...
Okay.
So I'm going to be careful because speech data... No, that's not where you need to put it in from, is it? That's it there. Got world? No world. Which class are we in? I had assumed we were in the front game.
Is it just that it's protected?
Yeah.
Shouldn't I still be able to see that?
Only from an inherited... Well... Yeah.
What class am I in? I'm in Speech Bubble Manager. That's why.
Right.
Okay.
Which happens to be in the Dragon Front game file, but is not...
All right, so let's pass in a context to it. Like this. We're going to do that there.
The game is certainly capable of injecting that context from its own world.
Yeah, so now we're going to say this dot world dot context. Come on, where's my context? Come on.
Public. Oh, it's CTX. It's in the list there.
Oh, yeah. There we go. All right. Thanks, Rory.
That's okay.
That code turned out way better than it would have otherwise. And then here we're going to say same thing. Okay, cool. So that's our context.
Context.
We've got some speech data now.
Got our renderer, our wrapper.
And now what I want to do is I want to take that speech data and attach it to the sprite. I actually don't think I want to get the speech data until after I've gone through this, check this return here to make sure everything's cool. And then now we're going to say the speech data is there. And once we create the sprite, we're going to attach it to the sprite. So the sprite's going to know it's going to have the speech, the text essentially that we need to draw.
Yep.
So I'm going to say sprite.data is equal to speech data. Okay. Next.
So this is what you were talking about when you were talking about your callback. So your callback's going to know that you're at the right point in time to now use the speech data.
I'm going to say ready to draw or okay to draw.
Sure.
And I'm going to set that to true once we've passed the right frame. Okay, so in our down here in sprite advanced frame, I'm going to say sprite if sprite.frameIndex is greater than or equal to speech bubbles dot return frame index, then we're going to say sprite dot data. We want data as sprite data as speech data. Set that equal to that. And then if that, then we're going to come down here. And what's going on here? Const.
That might be the... Yeah.
What are you thinking, Rory? What'd you say?
I've just noticed that you're also passing in a return frame index despite having one on the speech bubbles. So we may not need that.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, no, but is that because that's the nature of the callback?
Yeah, the callback does that for you. I forgot. I didn't realize that those were the same. Yeah. So if frame index is greater than that, then if speech data, then we're going to say speech data dot okay to draw is equal to true. Like that. And I think that's all we're going to do there. Then when we draw the frames here, I want to have this dot draw text like that. And before I do that, well, I'm going to pass in, I know what I'm passing in, so I can do this. That's going to be that, and that's going to be that, okay? So I've got my draw text there. And that's going to take in my sprites like this. My sprites, I'm going to have a for each. For each sprite proxy, sprites dot sprite proxies dot for each. There we go. And for each one of those, then we are going to, I think I want to say this dot draw sprite text, and I'm going to pass in just the sprite. And I think I want to also pass in the context. I didn't think about that, but there it is right there. like that. Give it the context. Like that. Let's go declare that. My declare isn't working because I'm in a for each. Is that really true? Okay, fine. There's my that. So there's my context. And then I want my sprite. Oops. There's my sprite. Then down there, I want this. Something like that right there. And we're going to say, if we get the speech data on it, then we want to say this dot word renderer dot, what do we got here? Render paragraphs.
Paragraphs.
That
Yep.
looks and feels good.
It does.
I think it's probably right. The lines is the line wrap data. This dot
Which is
paragraph.
speech data dot.
Oh, sorry. Right. Speech data. Thanks. Speech data dot paragraph. Is there a dot lines in it? I think it's line data. Who did that? Who did that? Pudding? You're in trouble. Pudding. Making me dance when I'm trying to think. All right. Well, Spider Climb's going a long time. What is that, an hour-long spell or something? Let's get rid of that.
It's probably setting a record of some kind. I was thinking that earlier.
Yeah, it's like, I'm just going to break concentration on that guy. Not getting anything useful done with my spider climb right here. You can't think if you're not dancing. Not me. It wasn't me. What do you mean? You can't think if you're not dancing. Rick is literally not
no
impressed.
evidence in the chat room at all, honest, go.
Yeah. They're surly flying around. Just flying around.
He's got
Just come over here.
quite,
Just a little
quite
closer.
the amount of coins there, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does. Come over here, Surly.
60,000?
Come right over here. Just a little closer. You can do it. Come on. There you go. Come on over. Come on over. Come on over. Oh, there you go. Goodbye. Try again. All right. So now we want to say where we're going to put that X and Y. We need the X and Y position, which I'm pretty sure is the upper left. So let's see. Where is that? I think we're going to have to stick that in speech data. We'll have to figure that out. So we're going to do a X and a Y like that.
Don't we have any information about where the sprite is? I thought we just called.
Yeah, we do. But there's kind of more than just the sprite. We kind of have to work our way back. We have to figure out the scale. Let's do this. Let's create at the very least, let's create a new constant called scale. We're going to set it to 1. Nope, it's got to be horizontal scale. And we need another one called vertical scale. Okay.
Yep.
All right, so there's that. And then what I'm going to do is come down here and just say sprite dot horizontal scale is equal to horizontal scale, like that, and do the same with vertical scale, like that. Okay, so I've got my horizontal vertical scale set up. Those will change at some point, but now we'll use this to calculate how we get to the text start position. So I think it goes like this. I think we need a number, text start X. And I'm going to set it to 0 now. And then I'm also going to say text start Y, also set it to 0. Now we're going to figure this out, where they are. And to do that, we kind of need to go back to the image, and we kind of need to go backwards from here. So here, right down here in this lower corner, this is my anchor position. My text start, I'm contending, is right up there. So I'm going to select from here to here, and I'm going to copy that to clipboard, paste it in as a new image, and check its dimensions. 18 by 195. So we kind of need to do this. These need this. We're going to turn this into left. Yeah, what do you got for me? What you got?
Subscriber.
You got a subscriber.
Wasabi, subscriber tier 1.
Wasabi, thank you, Wasabi, for that subscription. I missed that. Thanks, Surly. Appreciate that. You need a subscriber dance. I got one, but we can't show it on the show. Oh no, it's opening. No, it's over. No. All right, that didn't happen, kids. That did not happen. I do not know what's happening. All right, we need to do something similar up here where we need some of these magic numbers up here. So we need to change this speech bubble. I'm going to just come in here and say text offset right here for the speech bubble, and do the same thing down here for this one. And we're going to give it a text offset as well. And we got to figure out what these magic numbers are here. So this 18 and 195 are for the speech bubble. 18 and 195. Okay. The thought bubble is here. This is coming, this is actually going the other direction, I think, or no. Is that going to go? Yeah, maybe it's going to go right up. Boy, this one's tricky to wrap and look good. I think we're going to have to write a custom wrapper for this.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because although you've got a point on screen there where you could start, on line 2, there will be a further left place that is legitimately okay to put text.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. I want to create a custom bubble wrapper. I did not even think about this as a potential problem. We could change the animation so it looked a little more roundish, rectish, but I'm going to do this for now. I'm going to see this upper left corner. I'm also thinking about a hack right now too. I'm thinking about a hack that says start it here, but on the first line, we're going to center every line, and on the first line, we're going to give it less space. Give it some, it's a real cheap, easy way to wrap in a bubble like this. What?
There's another potential issue. If we go ahead and do this, and we start it where we think we're going to start it, and we say something very short, the text will be inherently at the top of quite a vertical bubble. I'm assuming you'd ideally like to center it vertically as well.
Yes, yes, I do. I do want to do that. There it is right there. This is all heck breaking loose on the show. Oh yeah, we don't want to see any of that. There's no evidence. No, there's no evidence. We're not doing any of that. None of that nonsense. Yeah. I really want this to look good though.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
So I think what I'm going to do is we'll start off, you know, as we often do, we'll start off having it look bad, and then we'll figure out how to make it look good. So the starting position of this text, I think I'm going to say right up in here is what I'm going to say. So right about there is what I'm going to say. So there's not a lot going on here. It is 1 by 212. So we'll say the offset X is 1 and make this one 212. Then we're going to come in here, and we're going to come in and assign these appropriately as well. We're going to say that is equal to, thought bubble text offset X, and then that one is there as Y. We'll grab both of those, come down here, bring it here, and we're going to change thought to speech. like that. Okay. And now we've got text start X and Y. And then we can now that we have those, we can come say that our speech data, oh shoot, that was not what I wanted. Speech data dot X is equal to text start X. Hold on. Got a spec change coming in. Are we going to... alignment. Are we going to need... So this is my text in my bubble. Get rid of this anchor. Let's get rid of this. I'm playing with what this is kind of going to look like in different kinds of alignments and how we're going to make this all work. Okay, that's not bad in terms of the look.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's see what happens if we say center it. Not bad, and we also align text in the middle as well. This is my text bubble thought. I think we can get most things looking good with a rectangle that kind of looks like this rectangle that you're seeing on screen here.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
So you're going to define 4 points, essentially, for the rectangle for each of the two types of speech bubble.
Yes.
And therefore, this is effectively the writable area of said bubble.
Yes.
And it's kind of irrelevant the bubble that you're within because you've got your rectangle defined at that point.
I think that's what I'm going to do, Roy.
That seems pretty safe. And it can also, it can work for future types of area as well.
There, this one
Switch
right
out
here.
new graphics, and all you need to define is the sort of the new 4 points.
So we're looking at that is what I think we're looking at. So let's do that. So it's going to be a negative 18 and 222. All right, I like that better. Okay. The other thing we can do...
Did you say negative 18? Because you wrote 118.
And that's why, Rory, you are making the big bucks. You're doing a good job, Rory.
Right. Now that's a text offset. That is for your upper left of your writable rectangle.
Yes,
Do you want a lower right as well?
I do. And I think I'm going to do it as a width and a height. So I'm going to say that is the lower right.
Okay.
And I'm just going to do something for, you know what I'm going to do, Rory, for this is I'm going to change our word wrapping algorithm so that it's a little more tightly constrained. I'm going to do it right about there on the first and last lines. It just shaves off like about 20% of available space on the first and last. And I think that'll give me a nice kind of look. Okay. So let's take a look. This is my width and height, 220, 144. So we're going to say our...
It's your speech bubble.
This is the thought bubble, I think. Thought
Oh, is it?
bubble width is equal to 220. And the thought bubble height is equal to 144. Get both of those. Get to get the speech bubble. Speech bubble. We're going to go from there to, I think, there. Two 115. Okay.
So that's nice. We've got all the constituent pieces now to define a rectangle inside of the bubbles, which will be a safe place to write.
Yeah. I just want to see what's going on here. Why is my Y? Ah, I see. There we go. So speech data X and Y are equal to text start X and text start Y.
Right, I think I'm going to take this moment, Mark, to interject and declare I'm afraid I have to leave for the day.
Okay, buddy.
However, I will be back tomorrow
He's awesome.
to see just what you've managed to achieve in the meantime, and we'll take it a bit further, I'm sure, at that point.
All right. Thanks, my friend.
All right, bud. See you tomorrow.
Rory is awesome, kids. What just happened?
He's in the house.
The wrong thing is focused. Will Bennett's not in the house. Over here, we're going to come in and say width. Oh, who's that though? Screen Trap, we are not done throwing fireballs yet. We're going to be back throwing fireballs next week. And we're just taking a break and we're doing thought bubbles today, speech bubbles today. Things like this. This is what we want to have popping up above me like this. Oh, hello. That sort of thing. I've not heard from Will. Is he okay? I don't know. He stepped away from the developer community and we were like a little bit sad to see him go. I hope he's okay. Dancing cats, screeching rats, and coding gorillas. Oh my. All right, so just going through the code to get this whole thing to work because there's a lot of, math involved with this, getting everything right. So we've got our the width and height, and we need to set those appropriately as well. So in here, we're going to say width is equal to, because we have two different styles, and height is equal to thought bubble height. Take that, bring it down here, and we're going to grab the speech bubble one instead. Right there and right there. Okay, so now we set the width and the height. And that's what we need to set down here too. So width is equal to width. And height is equal to height. Let's go declare those. Like that. Okay, we set width, height, X, Y. The question is now, are we always going to draw like this? In other words, center. Or will we draw upper left? In other words, does it look better there or there? I think it kind of looks better here. I think we're going to center it every time. Yeah, I hope he's okay. Yeah, he said he was stepping away from programming community. Yeah, we miss him. Will Bennett was awesome. We're going to center these. Now, there's something important we forgot. We need to scale these. And we need to scale in here too. So the speech data X is equal to, there's going to be something here. What's my normal X position that I'm calculating? I get it down below here. Hold on. So I'm going to do something like this. X position. Let's get this our Y position right here. So there's my vertical scale component right there. So I'm going to subtract that from the screen bottom. That's the Y position. Oh no, wait, that will not be. Yeah, I think we're good there. The text starts. Yeah, those will be scaled, I believe. Okay, so that gives us a box for the speech data is what that does. All right, let's take it. Let's see, what do we got here? Render paragraphs. What do we need here? X and Y. I'm going to do this now, so we're going to draw from the upper left. Style delimiters we need. Where are my style delimiters? Oh, they're here. Speech data. Style delimiters. Okay. So we've got a draw text call and a draw call. I think we need to do something like this. If speech data and speech data.OK to draw, then we draw. I think we also need to say if it's greater than return frame index and it's less than return frame index, So sprite dot segment size. What is it? Segment? What is that? I don't have a segment size on that. It's in sprites. It's in the parent. All right, let's do this instead. Let's just get the number from the asset. It's got to be less than 24. Less than 24. So let's do this. And loop animation frame index 24. So if it's in that range, then we're okay to draw. Let's change this up. Let's do this first and say, hey, if space data, then okay to draw is equal to that. Looks like I got an extra one of those. Okay. So if we're okay to draw, we're going to draw it, and otherwise we won't. So now, that means the animation coming up we won't draw, then we'll have it. We don't have any fade in or fade out yet on this, which would be nice. So it's just going to kind of animate up and then the text will appear. But I want to get something on screen to see if we can see it yet. I feel like we're about ready to be able to see something. I don't know. I want to kind of double check it, but I'm kind of also more interested in just trying it. So let's do that. All right. Centered will be harder to calculate, but I like the look better, says Screwtrap. Sorry, I missed that right there. All right, so let's see. Say it. Okay, my test say it did nothing, which feels like we've got an exception in here. Let's go jump over here, refresh that, and send the say it command again. For each of undefined in my style delimiters. My style delimiters of, wait, what class? Word wrap. Oh, it's initialized style delimiters. Okay, so I gotta kind of go through the call stack there. I'm using message box style delimiters. That doesn't look good. Line 51, Dragon front game. Hold on, I have a slight. That's kind of weird. I think I can do that. Let's try that. Refresh. Ah, we got text up. That's not bad. It's nowhere near where it should be, but it's not bad. Why is it so far off? It's like way off. I think it's going to work. It's going to work. Let's figure out why is it so far off. It seems to be off in both X and Y. Do you agree with that? Yeah. Oh, this is the flipped one though. Hold on. Let's go do say it 2. So it's not flipped. All right. That's looking a little bit better. Why is the Y so far off? Let's fix the Y first. try that. Okay, that looks like it's centering it. I'm not familiar enough with the word renderer, which we wrote, as well as the other one, to know if it's actually centering that or not. Let's give it more text for the test. This changes to be mean. See what happens with that. Refresh. Okay, we need to get the wrapping to work here. Let's take a look at the wrapping and let's add some constraints on that. So,
That's a bug.
okay. It's coding gorilla. It's a bug to you, it's a feature to me. I don't want to show all that text. No, it's a bug. I'm fighting it. I'm going after it. Is this where max text width. I want to drop this down. I want to force some wrapping here. That's what I want to do. I want to see if we get the wrapping working here. Okay. So it does seem to be already centering. But it's centering way off to the side. Is what it seems to be centering in. I set my FogBugs password to, is it a bug or a feature? Okay. So why are we so far off with the X? I don't understand that. And it seems like the X is changing. Let's do another test. We've got it worked, and let's try it worked right now without any changes to the code. Yeah, it seems to also similarly be centered over there. Oh wait, because we're doing it's in the wrong, it's the flipped one, isn't it? Change it back to 2. Try one more time. I thought I explained that as you didn't laugh. No, I kind of got that. But I'm just like, I didn't laugh because it's the, I don't know, I'm going to sound like a jerk now if I have to explain why I didn't laugh. But I just think it's cute how developers think exposing their passwords to the world is funny. It's not funny anymore. We stopped doing that. So anyway, all right, let's see what happens here. It worked. Now we're on the left side. What do we got here for 2? All right. So that text is not quite getting the right space. What's wrong with that X position on that? Okay. Still player X. plus scaled offset X. Offset X is speech bubble offset X. That's speech bubble offset X plus I have to bring scaling up higher. I'm just kind of like not liking the asymmetry of these lines of code here, where some I'm going to be multiplying by scale and some I will not be. But I feel like I need to do this right here. That's true. And I think this line down here is going to look like that instead. Like that. By the way, thanks Coders for writing that line of code for me. That's Coderish's duplicate line. It takes me from here to there. Right? Just by duplicating it, it's watching the changes I've been making in the code and is making that suggestion based on that. Based on those changes. Okay, so there's those two. Let's not quite do this. I'm going to copy these, but I'm going to restore these back to where they were. So I want to pull this out of it. That's what I want to do. I'm feeling a little bit better about this now. So we're going to say, we're going to call this scaled offset X and scaled offset Y. I just checked to see if I could register surly.dev. Someone took it though. And then we'll make this const. All right, so now we're going to say, instead of just our speech bubbles, this is going to become sprites. So we get that origin X and the origin Y of the sprite in there. And plus the offset times the horizontal scale. I think that's going to work. Oops, I got two scaled offset X's. I have surlydev.net, I'm good with that. Surly.dev would be fun to have. Okay, oh, not this word, but I want offset X. Okay, hold on, I gotta be very careful here because I'm at risk of making some changes here. So now I think we're good. We can get rid of that. Now I feel like we're in a better shape. Scaled offset Y is going to be equal to that right there, I think. Let's see if that helps us at all. I almost think it's that we've made a mistake somewhere and we're gonna be like, oh dang. Surly.dev at surly.dev. I like it. That would have been cool. All right, here's say it too. No better. Also, it seems to be like way up. My Y position, that's where, oh wait, that's where I want to put it. Shoot. No. No. I just want it to be this, I think. I want it to be that. Let's try that. We'll get a little closer here. I would go with me at surly.dev. Okay, the positioning of it is great. My X position is still off. I'm not using my scaled offset Y here either. Yeah, it could be that I'm just I'm centering everything when I'm drawing it. Let's consider for a second that that's a possibility. If that's the case, then it's equal, I'm going to say plus or actually, let's do it inside of, let's see where we're using this. Right here. Let's say plus speech data dot width and divide by 2. Let's do the same thing here. Wouldn't that be sweet if that just fixed it? Let's see if that does it. Okay, so we are top aligned. We are not, right, you see what I'm saying? We're starting where we say to start. We just need to figure out like how many lines and where we're actually going to do it at is what I think we have to do. Well, it's getting close. It's getting close. I think I'll end the show. That's what I'm going to do. Let's get you guys a raid. We'll come back at this tomorrow. We'll be attacking this tomorrow. Again, thanks so much, everybody. Again, if you want to go follow us out there at Dragon Hunters to watch the Dungeons and Dragons, there's your link right there. Let's see what we got. Who's out there right now? Who's out there right now? Streaming in the streamosphere. Wasabi Dev says, whoop, thanks for the stream. Hey, Wasabi, thank you so much. I'm going to send you over to Oh Bother. I like this guy. He's got cool stuff going on. We will, it centers the first line, but if there are multiple lines, it goes down. That's right, Screw Trap. We're going to fix that tomorrow. You take care too, Mr. Smoofy. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. And we will see you tomorrow.